It's recorded. All right. So anyway, just for refresh for those who just now hearing this recording. Uh, Leon's was a little long, but to shorten it up, we could just trim off some of the stuff at the beginning, and it, it was a decent soundbite.
We're at 8 to how many seconds?
Say it again. Oh, 8. About 8 to 14 seconds.
Okay.
So, and if it's 7 seconds, it's okay. So this is Talitha's. Hers was, what was it? It was from 2 to 29, which is already too long. But she included the question being asked. You are not going to do that with your soundbite or your package, because basically you kind of write into that. So such and such says that this is why blank. All right, and then you have the soundbite of that. So, all right, let me get back to, it was what, 2 to 29 for this clip.
The improvements that have been made to the building, the renovation of the cell and microbiology lab has made the most significant impact.
That part was kind of good. Wait, but it was personal.
Has made the most significant impact.
But
renovation of the cell, improvements that have been made to the building, the renovation of the cell and microbiology lab has made the most significant impact.
but she stopped. So I mean,
this renovation will affect.
I mean, really, the only thing gold there is, it made the most impact to me. But if she kept on going, it's like, okay, maybe. But right now, I could just paraphrase that. And yes, you are allowed to. I could, like, say if she had some more, I could paraphrase and say, Dr. Buckner says this thing means the most to her, and then bam, then she really gets into it. Oh, I just love it because blah blah blah, and this is a weight off my chest, and I felt so hopeless before, and now I know I can survive, or whatever. I don't know. So.
Students that into the building.
I know already that students that have come into the building have this wow factor.
Oh, like this is better. I'll be honest with you. That's already better. And that paraphrase that I did, wait. No, it doesn't work. The paraphrase, this made the most significance, but students walking in having a wow factor, that's how can I put it? If you wrote that just saying, oh, this building is going to wow students, you're being biased, because you don't know that, and pretty much anytime, I've talked about bias, anytime you say something with an opinion, there's always going to be somebody else out there who's not going to like you because of that opinion. As journalists, you're supposed to be, unbiased. So anyway, but yeah, she can say, hey, this thing is really turned around. I could paraphrase and say, some of the renovations have really turned around the student experience. Okay, that's me kind of saying something, but not saying exactly what she's going to say. And you kind of have to be creative when you write into your sound bites. Also, you got to be decisive with your sound bites. All right, let me.
What has taken place from those that were here approximately 2 years ago to see what the building looked like.
Yeah.
Come in and they are pleased and amazed at what has taken place from those that were here approximately 2 years ago to see what the building looked like.
Yeah, that's a good one. Even though Talitha didn't write that one down, and I need my little adapter thingy.
This air is really
All little slots and things. All right. Come on. Read it. Recognize it. All right, cool. Her other one was, I think it was 17. Let me double check. Was 19. I should probably. That sounds bad, but I should probably skip. Oh, wait, I forgot. I'm going through here anyway. I don't need to. All right, number 19. I want to hurry up because Mr. Kelly. Oh, number 19. All right, cool. And let's see what she picked. It was second. What? This girl. 0 to 206. 2 minutes. Honestly, I mean, I'm probably being a little meaner since she's not here, but but honestly, this is just the time of this is way too. Maybe she meant two. No, she didn't mean no 2 seconds and 6 frames. But yeah, that's just no. And nah, I'm sorry. I'm not even gonna wait. I'm not even gonna spend our time looking at this clip. That's just way too long. I'm gonna move on to the next one. All right, Deanna. No. Time code 221, clip number 5. All right, we're gonna start with number 19, and I see time code 221. All right, number 19, time code 221. Is this 19? All right. Oh wait. Okay, I see you got like the. Explain something to me. You. So you don't have like a starting time and an end time. You just got how long the clip was.
Yeah, that's why I thought that's why I said it.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next. Let's see. So and it was the same thing for the clip number 16. All right, I'm gonna move on then. All right, who is this? Brandon. All right. Yeah, he got the gist.
What's his last name?
Simon.
I thought his last name was
There's also a Brandon Sasser.
Sasser.
So there's 2 Brandons currently that you see around. All right, so number 19 and from 1 to 13, second 1 to 13. Let's see. Let's check this out.
What is your favorite part?
Time code's a little off, but that's all right.
One of my favorite things about the renovations that have happened in Kings Style is the fact that we are more student oriented. We have our student lounge.
Dang, he was cutthroat with that. That was it. She student orientated. Yeah, that was the end of that. So you got to be, well, maybe that's exactly what he wanted. And also with the time codes, you need to be specific because you may not be the person who's editing it. Sometimes, at stations they have editors or, an editor or somebody might be helping you out to edit your package or edit your both side, and maybe a photog is going to be doing it, even though usually reporters tend to do it. But yeah, that way they can follow your specific instructions, and also if you have like an out cue, that helps as well. But according to his instructions, we stopped at orientated, and oriented. Anyway, yeah, that was it. So
That was the whole.
He had from 1 to 13 seconds.
One of my favorite things about the renovations that have happened in Kings Style is the fact that we are more student oriented.
Yeah, that's it.
We have our student lounge areas, which we have 8 total throughout the building. We also have a student break room, and I think there is more interaction between the faculty and the students in these areas because it's kind of a relaxed area. They're nice.
If I work, maybe I'd stop, somewhere anyway. But yeah, his was way too short. And normally I don't say that about people, but yeah, that was very short. It's now student. Basically, she had one sentence. It was student oriented. I'm gonna say student oriented. All right, let's take a look at So she had some other stuff there that I thought was getting good about, it's a relaxed atmosphere and all that kind of stuff. That was some good stuff. But he chose not to have that, but that's okay. Let me go clip number 6 and 128. Oh, 11 seconds. But something that he did wrong on his. Oh, you can't even see this. Y'all say something. Anyway, he included the question. So, but then again, he ain't been around too much. Anyway, clip number 6, 128 to 139. Let's take a look at that. Number 6. Come on, internet. All right.
And here, and first course of the station.
All right, about 126. Here we go.
And here, and first course of the station name, spell it.
Hold on.
Could you please
This
say your name and your position?
My name is Anissa.
something.
Phases.
Is this
And
time
the
code?
last phase, the third phase, costs $5.3 million.
126.
What did it feel like to see the completed renovations for yourself?
Yeah, he's including the questions
It felt
again.
really good because of all the opportunities we will be able to allow and afford to our students.
That was it. It felt really good because of all the opportunities that we were allowed to. Blah, blah, blah. So something like that. That's you have him restate the question. I think I may have stopped during our interview experience and had her restate it, but you can bandage that. It says, she tells us how, I don't know, the such and such feels or how the renovation feels. But that if I'm judging you, I'm gonna be like, he ain't asked it right, or. So anyway, it was okay. Let me play it one more time. But yeah, he's using up most of his time in the question asking part. So I mean, he stuck to the time, but yeah, the questions are eating up a lot of his, SOT time, which he wouldn't be able to use in the first place. All right, got anybody else? All right, so I'm gonna play one clip, and I'm gonna pick I'm gonna see what Deanna picked. I'm gonna use either 19 or 7, and I'm gonna play it, and if I'm gonna point out things that were good, maybe a good sound bite. So Deanna, I'm gonna let you pick. You want me to play clip 19 or clip 7? Other than that, it has nothing to do with you. I'm just letting you pick. 7. All right. So let's go to 7. 7. And I'm just curious, how long? Oh, it's only 45 seconds, man. That's quick. All right, let's get to it.
Considering all the improvement.
A what? I was looking at you. Let's see. Oh, it says Talitha. You not Talitha? All right, come on. Where is he? Okay, 16 and 19. Okay, which one you want? 16 or 19? 16. Come on. Internet, don't fail me now. All right.
With the renovations made to the
And also, when you're doing your interview, part of the writer that kicks in while you're listening, pretty much, I'm not gonna say in a successful interview, but during an interview, at some point, you should have like an aha moment where you hear something that somebody says and be like, "Oh man, yes, I know I'm using that particular clip." So, anyway, let's listen.
How was faculty able to better engage students?
We have, in the building, due to the renovations, we have created student research spaces. So students are able to work right alongside faculty in their offices, and faculty are able to access the office and the research space at the same time with the students.
So yeah, I mean that could be a soundbite right there. Okay, we could say it creates a easier working relationship between faculty and students, and bam, play that soundbite. I almost have one of them Denzel motions. Like how how you be pointing like a praying mantis. Anyway, I'll move on.
Students are able to reach their instructors a lot faster.
Nice. With those student research spaces, are those spaces enabling students to do more independent studying and research that they may not be able to do before?
Students are able to do the independent study as they were not able to before. This is the benefit of having that research space.
How are you seeing?
And I don't have a problem with that question, but like in some of these grad school courses, like in qualitative research methods, sometimes the how can I put it? The theory of journalism in practice, but not how it really is. They say, don't ask like leading questions. But if she disagrees, she can say, no, it's not more blah 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 blah. And I'm not saying, but because you got the feeling that okay, they improved this in order to help with blah blah blah. They didn't improve it to make it worse. So I'm okay with that question. And in real life, that's how that question gets asked. And if they got a problem with it, they can say, no, it does not help one bit. So don't. There's a difference between sometimes what you learn in the theory practice stuff and what actually happens. And anyway, I'm gonna move on.
You're like that in international relations too.
So,
To react to the new renovation.
because I like this question.
Renovation.
Or if you want to flip it, here's another way that it happens in real life. Instead of saying, "How does this?" You can just say, "Tell us how this improves the blah 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 situation." Now I know it seems like okay, how does this improve the blah 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 blah? And that seems like a leading question, but the other one is just like tell us the good stuff. So if you're trying to think about like moral lines and all that kind of stuff, to tell us how this improves the blah 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 is on the good side of the line. Is like how does this improve the blah 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 blah? That's kind of like the fuzzy side. So if you really into all that. Now if you guys go to grad school for that, then remember what I just said. So
Study spaces, etc. In the building.
Students are able to interact in those, what we call collaborative spaces in the building. And it's not just biology majors, there are students from all majors. They come to the building, they say, we want to study in here because we like the area, it's inviting, and it's a lot of light, and it provides us a lot of light.
I just want to.
Because we like the area, the building, they say, we want to study majors, there are students from all majors.
I'm just trying to pay attention to the time code.
Because we like the area, it's inviting, and it's a lot of light, and it provides us access to collaborate on our projects and do video
That's 10 seconds right there.
for other classes, and they may just a bit more.
That works. That's a good one, and it falls within the 15 seconds.
From the faculty perspective.
And it's telling her perspective. We can't look up on Google. We can't look up on the blueprints and the specs how students feel about working in the collaborative areas and how it feels like it allows them to this and that and the other. So that's a good perspective type of soundbite. So I like it.
What new tools, what new technologies are in the building that help professors teach and help students absorb that information in different ways than before?
Some of the new tools
We started at 1:39. Oh, you guys can't see. I forgot.
call in the building are in our research labs. So we have for instance, the cell and microbiology labs. We have a sterilizer. We have cell culture hoods. We have our biosafety cabinets. Students are able. I wouldn't use this as a soundbite. Reason being is because this is like, I'm sure there was a list of requests that they had, hey, what do you need in this new renovation? They got that, okay? She's giving us a list. Also, when you do sound bites, Deanna, you with me? All right. When you do sound bites, professional, old school method, you don't intersperse B-roll with that person talking. I know y'all be like, yeah, but we can have the visuals and the whatnot. I'm just telling you how it is, okay? So for that 7 to 15 seconds, if you want to look like a professional, you keep that person on the screen. All right. Now I understand, we want to see what they're talking about, but guess what? She's giving a list. Okay. Guess what? In our script, we can say the renovations paid for the hood and the incubator and the deep freeze and the blah 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 blah. And guess what? While we're saying that, we can have those images. So that's why I wouldn't use that as a soundbite. To start their own independent research projects, which is something that we are going to initiate in the coming. Are going to initiate projects, which is able to start their own independent cell culture hoods. We have our biosafety cabinets. Students are able to start. So
after she listed that, I could say these tools help students develop whatever, something. And then if I wanted to use, I think what's coming up, then I think that'd be kind of, I could probably use that at 158.
On independent research projects, which is something that we are going to initiate in the coming months. And so it allows faculty to be able to show students what it is that we're talking about when we're in lecture, as far as how to conduct an experiment from start to finish.
I would say in lecture, because I was looking at the time, and was it 8? That was 10. This is about 16. It's about 15, 16 seconds, right where I stopped it. So, I mean,
Your research design.
So basically, something like, they provided the this, the that, the other, and it helps students further develop their, research or goals or whatever the science stuff is called. So.
Like an experiment from start to finish in your research design.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
All right. Cool. So, I'm gonna stop talking about Soundbytes for now. And I may, in order to accelerate things, what I might do is I might just pick out some Soundbytes so you guys can say, okay, these are good examples, and then I'm gonna be like, all right, for the next step, you got your script, and what I want you to write is a transition to SOT. I make up these terms, and really, I feel like I should write my own chapter.
Yeah,
But
I was actually about to ask you if when you did that, could you write a little bit about what this is?
Yes.
You said a transition to what?
Transition to SOT. It's a sentence that I call that goes from, you're talking about the facts and figures and whatnot, but it's kind of like where you allude to what the soundbite is about to say. So if I said, Dr. Buckner says these things give students and faculty more opportunities to work together, all right? And then she talks about, she doesn't say it in the same words, but more in depth about this allows people to be in the same space at the same time, and you can see your professor working on their research while you working on your research, however that, detail goes. But to get to that SOT, you want a transition sentence that basically just introduces what's about to be said. So, and any of you who are interested in documentaries, it's the same. Writing a documentary and writing a news package is exactly the same thing. It's just you just keep on going from B-roll to SOT to B-roll to SOT to B-roll to SOT. It's basically it's exactly the same thing, just a longer format. For scripted documentaries. All right, let me get to these scripts. All right. Leon.
That's me.
And I'm going to be honest with you, this is a cold read. Who's in EMP? Raise your hand. All right, so y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, cool. All right, do I want to read it myself? Well, okay, well, for starters, I can just look at this. It's too long. This is more than 30 seconds. I can look at it and already tell. Oh, let me.
When I timed it, it was like long. It was longer than 30 seconds. I think that when I initially wrote it, it looked like it was 30 seconds, and it might be a 30-second read in my head.
All right, yeah. Read aloud. What? Who can finish this phrase? Read aloud. I said it EMP. Read aloud. Practice aloud. Or practice aloud. Read aloud. Anyway, flip it. It still makes just as much sense. So, because it's for broadcast, you got to practice it out loud. So, you putting me through the ringer. All right, risking my voice. So, and I'm going to go ahead and do it. And I'm going to read it to the best of my ability and try to breathe. And I'm going to take my mask off, but I'm going to face away from you guys. So, wait a minute, hold on. You ain't got a mask on. You ain't got a mask on. Well, you playing. So, anyway. All All right, I'm gonna start now. The Kunsthalle Biological Science Building recently concluded a 5-year renovation. The building renovation had students in mind when constructing new spaces for faculty and students. The renovation boasts modern lab spaces, student collaboration spaces, and a new classroom space. Updated spaces allow students and faculty to do more research and give students spaces within the building to engage each other. Also included in the renovation are new tools giving students and faculty more options for research. Faculty can now instruct students on what's possible with the new tools and give students the flexibility to research independently. The cell and microbiology lab, sterilizers, and cell culture hoods allow students to start their own research projects. There are 8 new student collaborative spaces. These spaces encourage students to work with each other on everything from homework to projects or just relax between classes. The spaces also let in a lot of light, so they feel inviting to students. A grand reopening is tentatively scheduled when COVID restrictions are lifted. Not bad. All right.
What was your time?
1 minute and 1 second. So,
What did you put out?
I'll be honest. Even for a package, I mean, the script is good. Honestly, it's a good script, and the sentences,
Like I use the and spaces a lot.
aren't too long. Yeah, you can. How can I put it? One thing that's good about script writing, and Dr. White will agree with me on this. One of the things about, I say script writing and rapping and poetry have all one thing in common, is that you have to know multiple ways to say the same thing, and there's a craft in that.
Yes.
So, she agrees with me. So, so sometimes if you think you're out of words, just right click and hit synonyms and just write, okay, spaces, areas, locations, locales, I don't know.
I
So-
haven't had my coffee yet.
So it's cool, but yeah, that you do find sometimes, yeah, because I do see in like 2 sentences you use the word spaces.
At the beginning, spaces
so,
was used a lot.
But I'm gonna get, all right. I gave you good stuff, but now I'm going through this in a fine-tooth comb because that was just me reading and not trying to mess up. Recently concluded a 5-year renovation. That works. And I can say that could be the lead. And I don't want to say recently just because, I mean, it's true, but it's on the news, so it's going to be recent, So that's why I would take out recently. I wish I could do like a scratch through. Can I? Maybe instead of, was this a highlight?
If you do the edit thing, you can do that.
So,
Like go to comments. Like you can try to make a comment on it. I have people do that with my essays, so I can see what they're doing.
what's this? Good format. Well, anyway, I'm gonna just highlight it, and I'm gonna use, since I see, or you know what? I got to underline, and I can do that quick. Or maybe, yeah, I'm gonna just do Command U. Is that right? Okay, yeah. So that means I'm getting rid of it. The building concluded a 5-year renovation. Formatting renovation has students in mind when constructing new spaces for faculty and students. This is kind of looping in on itself.
It is.
Yeah, the building has students in mind when constructing new spaces for faculty and yeah, the building renovation had students and faculty in mind. So students, and faculty in mind.
And you would just take out like the end of that sentence.
Yeah, the rest of that got to go.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm trying not to do this too much because I want you to fix your own stuff, but it's just happening. The renovation boasts modern labs, new collaboration. Yep. Perfect sentence, don't change a thing, except the formatting. You need ellipses and stuff. Updated space allows students to do more research and give students the space within the building to. Students do more research. If I wanted to be extra strict, I would put a period right here, and I would just make another sentence. and say,
say updated facilities instead of spaces.
I think you can use facilities,
Okay, I was just thinking about that.
but I'd be kind of careful because there's gonna be some people who don't know what facilities mean. But yeah, also including renovation. I'd probably just get rid of the also included. I could just the renovation, also including renovation or new tools. Uh, I would say like the renovation brings new tools, giving students and faculty more options for research. So I would say something like that. Um, and I'm not going to edit it just so I can go faster. Faculty can now instruct students on what is possible with the new tools and give students the flexibility to research independently. Yeah, these are all good sentences. They're all applicable, but we're gonna have to make some cuts in just a second. The self allow students to start. All right, like this. This sentence, they're kind of related. Okay, so this one has the details of what they actually got, and so they can be do their own stuff. All right, this one is and this one right here says, and give the students the flexibility to research independently. Researching independently and start their own projects, to me, that kind of means the same thing. To a science person, maybe, but average Joe, that sounds kind of like the same. Can instruct students with book. So I would probably, this part in blue, get rid of it because you kind of say it here as well.
Oh, wow.
So, and also, or I would just get rid of this whole thing because we know we get new stuff because we got the cell, the this, the that, the sterilizers, allow them to do their own research. So I would say probably go with this sentence over that one. There are 8 new student collaborative spaces, and then spaces. Use the pronoun they. They encourage students to work with each other, from homework to projects. Actually. I like it, but you're gonna have to make some tough choices.
Gotta make a quick decision.
So instead of saying like there are 8 new student collaborative spaces, I could just say
Could you say like
student
8
collaborative spaces, or I could just say the 8. I'll probably start right here. The 8 student collaborative spaces. Don't even say new.
Okay.
8 student collaborative spaces encourage students to work with. So kind of get rid of this sentence and just kind of add a little bit of that onto it. And yes, it does actually, save time and space. Other thing for projects are just relax between classes. On everything from homework to projects or just it's kind of a personal style. It's kind of making me a little uncomfortable with how long it is, but it's personal. So I think that's I can see where that would be valued. The spaces also, be careful about this also stuff. All right.
Why is
No.
that?
The reason why I don't like also is because you have to think about the previous thought before it. So each sentence kind of needs to be able to stand on its own. So I don't. That's kind of like why you don't want sentences starting with conjunct. But you don't want to start a sentence, but also blah 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 blah, or however, because guess what? That means I got to remember the sentence before it, and you don't expect people to remember the sentence before it. So, on everything harder, just the spaces. Yeah, and also it's just superfluous. It's just a bunch of it's extra. The spaces let in a lot of so I don't need that. I can just take that out. So it's feel inviting to students. I would delete this sentence. The reason why is because we got footage of this, so we see this. So between at this point we're probably going to be showing these spaces, so they can see the brightness and the whatnot. So yeah, I don't think that's even necessary. And I like your riding off into the sunset sentence.
Had to close it out.
But
Oh,
there's one. If I was going to say something about the reopening, because they did. She said, well, me personally, and I'm going to be honest with you, we could give this information that we gathered to 100 people, and nobody would have exactly the same story. So I like this, but what I would want to do something that I want to do, and I think I mentioned it. I'd want to get. I'm sure there's a picture of whatever his name, Kuntz, somewhere in the building. I guarantee it's somewhere, even if it's over Dr. Buckner's desk. And I would have liked to have gotten a shot of that because they mentioned they're gonna honor him or pay recognition or something to him. So anyway, I'm gonna move on. Yeah, I should have started with you last. All right. Actually, I'm gonna go with Tyree since you're here, and maybe once you guys leave, I'll just keep on talking to myself for the recording for Talitha. Tyree, let's see what you got. All right. First, let's read this thing. This looks within the 30-second range, so I like that. Yeah, let's get started. I'm gonna take off my mask again, so I don't, have to talk as loud and whatever. Whew, air. The University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff's Kuntz-Kyle Hall has received a $5.3 million makeover. New desks, laboratories, and USB wall ports are just a few upgrades that the biology-based building has received. After almost 5 decades of no renovations, it was only a matter of time before Kuntz-Kyle caught up with the rest of the university. This renovation also included a new elevator and aluminum and collaborative spaces for students and faculty to enjoy. I know I didn't correct myself, but that was because for the sake of time. That would have cost me a second. So right now I got like 34. I'll probably, if this wasn't a cold read, I probably, would have gone faster, smoother. Be careful with the alsos. I like your use of adjectives. So the reason why is because using adjectives or adverbs that describe whatever it is that you're talking about, it saves you from writing a whole other sentence. So has received, because you could say they received a makeover. Bam, plain and simple lead sentence, right? But and then your next sentence could be the renovation cost $5.3 million. That's 2 sentences, right? But if I just say they received a $5.3 million makeover, basically you were efficient in your use of information. So that is a very good thing. So all of you remember to do that. Tyree didn't invent it, but he's doing it, and a lot of other good writers do that as well. New desk, laboratories, and USB wall ports is just a few upgrades. And I noticed you did it again in the biology-based building. Yeah, but that is a long sentence. So I'm projecting and all that. Let me see if I can just regularly read it, not take too deep of a breath. Y'all can't even see the script. Can y'all see that? Oh yeah, that is true. All right. That's not a yes though. After almost 5 decades of no renovations, it was only a matter of time before No, that wasn't the sentence. New desks, laboratories, and USB wall ports are just a few upgrades that the biology-based building has received. It's close. It is close. I feel like I got to take a slightly bigger breath than usual after reading that sentence. So, and let's see. Let's see. Let me read this other sentence because I think that one was kind of a close one also. After almost 5 decades of, I don't like this sentence. Of no renovations. That just don't sound right. That sounds, I don't know. That sounds like aggressive. It sounds like you got some baggage. It just does. This just biased and he mad about something. No renovations. Just a matter of time before they caught up with the rest of the. It just sounds bad. So you can state these things by saying, because I think what she said was, basically there hasn't been a renovation since the building was built. So you can say something like, there hasn't been the building was built in 1976 and has not received a renovation. So you can say, use something like that. So have the year, or there hasn't been a renovation since the building was built. Bam, you could say that. But yeah, I kind of like that 1970 line. So, but yeah, you mad. So yeah, there's a lot. So yeah, I would delete this whole sentence. And write it from scratch, kind of similar to what I said. So I hate to say it, but I don't see anything, or it's now, and you can't say 5 decades since the renovation because it hasn't been renovated. So yeah, I would delete the whole sentence and kind of start from scratch, but still say the same thing. All right. Also, you use the word renovation, and if you were going to keep this, you got the word renovation in this sentence, and you got it in this sentence. We need a synonym for renovation. The remodel, the upgrade, the improvements, something, the facelift. I don't know what you want to call it, but something. So, and if you're not sure, go to thesaurus.com or something. This renovation or this upgrade or whatever. Also, get rid of that also. The improvements included new elevator and auditorium and collaborative spaces for students and faculty to enjoy. I guess. So that whole for students and faculty to enjoy, I think, well, technically I think the collaborative spaces are more for students. The faculty, they got offices, but I don't know.
Yeah, I was going off the interview.
Oh, that's what she said?
Yeah, the second lady, she was like,
Oh.
they can better connect their students in this space. So.
Okay. So maybe if you really felt like you want to keep that students and faculty collaborative spaces kumbaya, then you might want to have her say that. So if you really want to keep that student and faculty hugging in the collaborative area, I'm not trying to make fun of you. I'm just being. All right. So technically we out of time. Man. I'm gonna do some more stuff, and what I'm gonna spend almost zero time on scripts on Tuesday, and we're gonna do this TriCast, yeah, because I still think we can be ready. I want us doing a newscast not next week but the week after. So and
So last week of February, first week of March.
yeah. Yeah. So if you hadn't turned in the script, do so. And Dajon, make sure you stay behind. The rest of y'all, you turn script. I want scripts. I want sound things, and I'm gonna also give you a little bit more guidance on picking the sound bite. So I'm also gonna put something in what do you call it? Yeah, or my Google Drive, and I'm going to give you my outline for how to write a both side and how to write a package. At the very least, I want a both side on Tuesday. Matter of fact, I may want it before class so we can actually talk about it in class. Because basically, a both side is basically like a cheeseburger, and a package is like a Whopper. It's just like bread and meat times 2. So if you can do a both sides, you're a lot closer to doing a package. So I'm gonna want some both sides on Tuesday, and I will help you by picking out some sound bites. And yeah, I'm gonna finish doing this recording for Talita, and then I'm done. But y'all done. Y'all can get out of here. So except Davion. All right. So okay. So Talitha's for the recording. Let's see. Let's read this and see how long it lasts. David, do you have a class coming up?
No, but I Prac.
At what time?
4th grade, 5.
Okay, I'm all right. I'm trying to hurry. I'm sorry. UAPB students and staff anticipate the grand reopening of Kunsthalle Hall Biology Building. There have been some major upgrades to the classrooms, the auditoriums, and laboratories to accommodate students and teachers. We had an interview with Ms. Bruckner, the director of the building, about what is new and what we expect to see going forward after the reopening. So that's kind of like a pitch to a SOT, or almost like an anchor intro. So yeah, all this right here, that needs to go, especially for just like a 30-second script where, I know it said don't use the the sound bites or quotes, but she still kind of like alluded to that, and 30 seconds is up, and this is kind of like an incomplete type story. So this right here should definitely go. What else? Students and staff anticipate a grand reopening of Kunsthalle Hall building. I kind of disagree with this sentence as well because they know about the renovation, but everybody. I'm gonna be honest with you, everybody ain't gonna know about this reopening. Ribbon cutting in front of the building type thing. So even if it was on the webpage, I'm sure there's still a lot of people who don't know about that. So that's not what I would lead with. This sentence, some major upgrades to class. Oh, I didn't stop my time. That was that was about 22, 25 seconds. So it did reach the time limit. So that was good. Major upgrades to classrooms, auditoriums, and laboratories to accommodate students and teachers. That's a good sentence. Wouldn't even touch it. Yeah. And also, a critique I have about this sentence is you said, is it Buckner or Bruckner? Now you got me confused. But she's doctor, so she's Dr. Buckner. So we got to get that right. But yeah, I'm sure you heard some of the other stuff I said, about the other students. So anyway, that's gonna be it. And yeah, let me minimize this so I can actually get to the thing where I can stop the recording. All right, bye bye.